Welcome to Massa Beer Reviews. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. Massa Beer Review Classic, I guess, because this beer has been around for a little bit. Sierra Nevada. Tripe. I always want to say Trip to the Woods. It's Trip in the Woods. This is their rum barrel aged quad. Why do we call this a Massa Beer Review Classic? Because this is a revisit. I reviewed this beer 5 years ago. 5 years ago, in 2021, and I'm 99% sure this is the same vintage. I think they only made this once. I could be wrong, but back when I originally reviewed this in 2021, I called this a 2019 bottle because all the research I could find, this is from 2019. Fast forward to now, I did the same thing. Basically, I looked around, I couldn't find any solid info, so I scrolled Sierra Nevada's Instagram until I got to the first picture of this beer, which was in May of 2020. And was talking about opening up distribution to other places that can get this beer. So it kind of tracks that this is a 2019 beer. Yeah. So we're going to revisit it. I actually went and watched my old review just to get some kind of tasting notes. And I really originally enjoyed this beer. My big issue with it was price point. Not a huge deal, but, it's pricier. And mouthfeel. Mouthfeel's the big one. So we can see a little bit of variance here. Now, price point is the reason why I picked this up. When I picked this up originally, it was $20. I think this was a $30 bottle from Sierra Nevada. So even at that point, we're saving some money. But still, $20. Belgian quad, sure, barrel aged, yada, yada. $12 American I picked this up for. Off the shelf today, and they had a case of it. So if this hits, we'll go back for more. What do we have in the bottle? We have Sierra Nevada Trip in the Woods Barrel Aged Series, brewed and bottled Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, Chico, California, and Mills River, North Carolina. Rum barrel aged quad, aged in rum barrels, 11.7% alcohol by volume. Story time in the back. Not going to read it. Read it the first time. Here we go. Like I said, there's no dating on this bottle, but like I said, I just don't think they made this a ton. I think they made it just a one time. I know they've made other variants of this more. Actually, one of the things that makes me even more confident that this is the same bottle is I think about it. When I was scrolling through the Instagram, I saw that Trip in the Woods bottle for, I think it might have been their barrel aged stout. And it was a completely different label design. Like completely night and day. You still had the same kind of vibe to it and elements, but definitely wasn't the same beer. So this is the exact same labeling from the one I reviewed a couple of years ago. So I really do like the labeling. I mean, it just, as I said in my previous review, reminds me of like a fancy like Scotch bottle or something like that. So I really do dig it. And as far as the beer goes, still kicking on carbonation. If we're looking at something that is at this point, 7 years old, right? 7? No. Oh, yeah, 7, right? What year is this? Good God, it's 2025? I don't even know what's going on right now. But anyway. Looks the part. Had a decent head on it. Gave it a little bit of a gentle roll. Hadn't even elevated. So you're talking about Belgian quad on point status. Pretty darn dark. I mean, I like my Belgian quads to be dark, so this one definitely looks the part. And it has that rich kind of nice malted malt ball kind of color head on it. With that rich dark brown / mahogany kind of body. Off to a very appropriate start. Let's see if we can get a nose on this sucker. Okay. I'm going to reference my old review on this quite a bit because I think it makes sense revisiting this beer, and especially since I watched it. So I want to talk about it based off of that. So if you want to go check that review out, I'll link it down below. If you want to go watch that one and come back to this one, or if you've watched it already, go for a refresher. Now, when I talked about a big, huge rum presence on the nose, definitely getting rum here, but it's a little bit more, I would say, cohesive. There is a rich Belgian candied sugar here. There's a rich malt base to it, a rich rumminess to it, and something I didn't get on the previous one. A little bit of spicy, roasty toastiness, I believe, is coming from the barrel here. So for me, at least aromatically, this smells a little bit more kind of what age can do to a beer in a very, very positive way. So you get that rum, you get this kind of like I always talk about this kind of chocolate char rubbed kind of barrel take like a Belgian quad and a little bit of rum, mix it together, reduce it down, and rub that into a barrel charge. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting here. So it has a very rich nose on it. Probably a touch warmer because I picked it up today than when maybe I drank that other one at. So this one's probably in the mid 50s. The other one probably in the low 50s. But I think it's still pretty much where you'd want it to be. It has an absolutely decadent nose. I talked more of like a dessert kind of vibe on the other one. This is a little bit more adult desserty. You know, I referenced, I believe, Rolo candies in the other one. This is a little bit score bar-y for me. I mean, these are hyper specific references to my childhood. To me, Rolos are very, caramel inside chocolate. Hopefully you've had them. A little bit more kiddish. Score bars to me have a little bit of kind of like just a little bit of spice to them, a little bit more adulty vibe. My mom used to eat score bars, I think more specifically just so we wouldn't eat them because they're more of an adulty candy. That's the vibe I'm getting off here. So very much rich Belgian quad rum with this very much kind of adulty score bar kind of vibe to it, at least aromatically. See if we can get taste that. If it hits that, we're very, very excited. And see where the mouthfeel goes too. Cheers. If my eyes wander off screen, it's because the Game 7 of the NBA Finals is going on right now. That's delicious. That is absolutely delicious. And it's a markedly different beer than I remember. Almost to the point where I think maybe this is a different version. Honestly, chances are it's just a different bottle. Maybe a different portion of their barrel mixing or blending or whatever it may be. But mouthfeel is not a problem here. Not by any stretch of imagination. It has this soft, fluffy creaminess that just absolutely wins the day. So it's like the first thing I talked about in that other review is how I'm going to talk about how lack of mouthfeel is going to be a big issue on that one. That is not the case on this one. Mouthfeel is spot on, fluffy, creamy, exactly what I want my Belgian quads to really kind of hit in at. That rum presence is there, but not nearly as aggressive as the other one. To a fault a little bit, but you're still getting that rum vibe to it. Maybe a touch more sweetness here than I remember, which actually adds quite a bit of balance to it because there's almost a dryness finish on the other one that I attributed to a big oak tannin component. I still think those oak tannins are here. I just think there's maybe that time, the extra 4 to 5 years kind of helped elevate and create this kind of sweetness component that was there. It's weird because I think the other one that I had several years ago was very much more hot and rummy in a fun way. And this one is much more kind of melded together, much more kind of cohesive to where everything's kind of just mixed together and just one component to where it lacks a little pizzazz that the other one had. Like the other one was basically, it didn't get to like wow factor S tier for me because it lacked the mouthfeel. This has the mouthfeel, but since it's still that rum component and it just kind of drops a little bit and maybe just a little bit of pop of beerness. How about that for putting the random thing that people can't quantify into a beer review? It's just a micron less that I wish I had that old one now and this one now and blended them together. I think you'd have actually the best of every world and have like a Mount Rushmore S tier barrel aged quad. But man, let's calm down for a minute. Walk it back a little bit. For $12, I got this for $12 American dollars. All day with that. The price point on this is what makes this beer for me just elevate and sing. Not that if something was free, it would be the best beer I ever had. That's not the case. There's a delicate balance between price and deliciousness. There's some of these crazy coveted Hill Farmstead side project beers which are they might be the best out I ever had, but if I had to drop $100-$200 on them, then that kind of sucks. Whereas you have other beers that are reasonably priced and they're very close to those. That's where my mindset comes in when it comes to buying and drinking beer. as someone that doesn't have a limited budget, like a lot of the white collar bros out there that live in the secondary beer value guild and all those kind of things in the universe. Anyway, man, the Belgian quad portion of this is very, very nice. There's a spiciness here that maybe is a little bit out of tune. That could be a Caribbean rum spice. I don't remember talking about that in the other one, but there's almost like a peppery spiciness that could be a rum component here. If that's added, fine. But I do know Belgian quads, more specifically Belgian darks from Sierra Nevada, can be a little bit hoppy, can be a little bit spicy. So I'm assuming it's a little bit of both. But the way the mouthfeel on this thing shows up, in combination with having that rum, which in a perfect world maybe a slight elevation, hence my want to blend the older one back in time with this newer one, brings the best of both worlds. You get a Belgian quad experience, you get a rum barrel aged experience, and you get a really, really tasty, super fluffy mouthfeel creamy, which is the surprise of this review in a very fun way. At a criminally low price point. Like, I almost feel bad buying this for $12. You know, $20. I bought this at $20. Let's go back. Pay that. I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. Even for the experience of having the older one and the new one, that to me is worth it. For $40 over several years to have that beginning to end kind of experience. Absolutely 100% worth it, but to get this off the shelf, they had a case of it there. I'm going to go back and buy more. They had a case of it there for $12, $11.99 a bottle if we want to get specific. $11.99 a bottle. Man, this is fun. This is fun. And honestly, you know, some of the better barrel-aged beers I've had from Sierra Nevada was the Tripe in the Woods. I forget which one it was. Their stout or some other one was like completely blew my doors off. I don't even know if I reviewed it. It might have been something I brought to a party or something like that. But man, you know, to get something like this at that price point off the shelf and be able to go back and get more, this dude is happy. Showing all the cool elements of Belgian quad, albeit a bit Americanized, a little twisted. It's what Sierra Nevada does. But then have that cool twist, that cool thing that I didn't think was going to happen, which is that ultra sultry, soft, creamy mouthfeel to this. Just chef's kiss, cherry on top. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I'm here for it. There you go. I'm done with this review. That's all you get. So, like I said, we'll call this Master Beer Review Classic Revisited. Maybe we'll just keep adding things to the title so that it's become hella long. And I'll link down to the old review below. And watch that one, watch this one. And especially if you've had this beer originally, you had it a couple of years later when I reviewed it, and you've had it now. Has your experience changed? Did you buy a case of this? And you've opened them throughout the years. And how has it morphed? How has it changed? That's the things I want to know. Those are the little tidbits of information I really want to get out of this. Other than just entertaining you guys for 13 minutes or so. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better barrel-aged beers I've had as of late. Mount Rushmore status, no, in the conversation. Barrel-aged quads as of late, yes, kind of defaults somewhere in between for everything. At $12. Zero qualms buying this beer. Value and availability, like I said, $12 off a shelf. Go buy more. I don't know what your experience is with that. Your mileage will definitely vary with aged beer like that. So take that for what it's worth and leave you with, if you like this beer. If you like barrel aged quads, you'll dig this. Done and done. Hopefully you enjoyed. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers and want to check me out there in the social media stuff, Beer Massive. And like I said, if you had this over the years, let me know. Let's talk about it down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying, $12 barrel aged quads right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, y'all.